Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Hey, boy, I can't wait for y'all to get in here today. Good afternoon, everybody. Let's go. Today, Jay Morrison is having a talk with the investors about the SEC audited file. And guess what? I got the link and the password. We are all going to listen in together. Let's get it. Yo! Now listen, this may take longer than an hour. So in the event that this takes longer than an hour, right, I'm going to hurry up and close the thing, save it real quick, and then come on back up in here again so we can finish this thing up, right? Yo, listen, I hope this dude allows for people to ask questions and have discussion. Because, boy, if he allowed that to happen, y'all already know, baby. Y'all know I'm going in. Oh, Lord. Nope. Because actually, the fact of the matter is, one of the investors sent me the link and specifically asked me to be on the call with them to help them understand what it is that Jay Morrison is talking about. So legally, I am allowed to be a part of this situation, baby. Let's get it. He already late, y'all. It's 6 o'clock. I need to know where he at. Yo, where's he at? It's 6 o'clock. I'm saying it's 6 o'clock. Where he at? Well, I always cover my bases, baby. I got to cover my bases. Where he at? Where he at, baby? Where is he? I'm saying it's 6:01. He late. He working on CP time, y'all. Where he at? Yo, we need you to show up, baby. It's 6 o'clock. The investors want to hear from you, baby. Let's get it. Where you at, baby? Hey, let's go. We gonna hear from Mr. Morrison today. What he got to say about this shit. I can't wait. Oh, I can't wait. Oh, I can't wait for this one. Oh, I need this. Yo, I got a feeling, y'all, I think this video might go viral right here. I'm one of the few people that's not an investor that got a link to this shit. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Yeah. Hey, I'm just saying, y'all, it's 6:02. Where he at, y'all? Where he at? I mean, that ain't good money management already. You know, people that manage other people's money, when they tell them that, you know what I mean, they gonna be on there at a certain time, they on time. He ain't there. Where he at? Yo, where he at, y'all? I just need to know where he at. Where he at, y'all? Where he at? We don't want to see your infographic. We want to see you. Where you at? Bruh, he ain't here yet. And why is the TREF talk being hosted by the Jay Morrison Academy? How that work? How that work? Make that make sense. Hold up. The Jay Morrison Academy is not the manager of the Tulsa Real Estate Fund. I need to understand what we doing here. Oh, come on, baby. Hey, that's cool. I'm glad you're watching my live. Hey, I'm watching yours too. I hope that he watching my live. Cause Jay Morrison, I'm watching your live too. Where you at, baby? Where you at? You are delinquent on time, sir. Sir, you are delinquent. Sir, you are delinquent. It is 6:03. It is 6:03. Where you at? I'm looking for you. I need to see you, baby. I want to hear from you. Everybody want to hear from you. The streets is watching, baby. Them same streets you claim to be from? Nah. They watching, baby. Where you at? Let's get it. Yo, I need y'all to let everybody know it's going down right now. I need everybody in this thing right now. I need y'all to get as many people into this live as you possibly can. It's going down. He should have had that whiteboard up. He sent this email out days ago letting people know that he was coming on at 6 o'clock. Jay, you got some explaining to do. We waiting on you. I can't, he always using that word king, but I can't call him a king. My nigga, he's a peasant. We waiting on you, peasant. Where you at? We waiting on you. He's the court jester at this point. He's up. Oh. There you go. Oh, it's going down. Did he record this? He recorded this. He ain't even bring it live.
Hey, peace, family. Welcome to TREF Talk Tuesdays. I am your host, but more importantly, I am the CEO and fund manager of the Tulsa Real Estate Fund, Jay Morrison, and this is a private TREF Talk for investors only. This was for our partners, all the members of our company. We recently filed a 1K for our organization, an SEC audit. It's our 2019 end of the year audit and financial report, and I want to give clarity, and I want to speak through and discuss and touch on some key points of our...
I am so disappointed by this right here.
And in this, there's going to be a little bit of education, there's going to be clarity, there's going to be answering many of the questions that you guys have seen.
I cannot believe he pre-recorded this.
And discrepancies.
Yo, cold sucker move.
But also just getting through this very lengthy and very complex document. But I'm super excited about it, super excited about our company. We just keep moving forward and we keep going on, and we're going to talk about that path to profits and progress in a second, but let's just hop right into it, right? The purpose of this is TREF 2019 SEC audit discussion, and let's first talk about the purpose. When I formed, 2018 was when we first formed the company, and 2018 is obviously June 1st when we launched the company. I wanted to do something. I thought about a black-owned business in the black community, specifically practicing group economics. And I said, what would be the challenges of us building a black Wall Street, right? 2015, after the Fredrick uprising, was the inception of the idea to build out a financial model that could support a black Wall Street type community and culture and investment vehicle for our community. That was 2015. We then formed the company in 2016. In that, I knew the challenges with especially the black community doing business together was going to be trust, it was going to be transparency, right? It was going to be equity.
Oh, it hurts my head.
Me or donation. I wanted people to have equity and ownership, and I didn't want to create a company where there was not transparency, where there was hidden things going on. I already know how, I know how I feel. I know what we see in our community. I just know the sentiment of our community that person might be up to something. And so I wanted to offer full transparency, which is why the audit is so great. You can see fully under the hood, is why our TREF Talks has been so great, doing them for the last nearly 3-4 years. And all the other information that we put out and having this SEC regulation and all that, right? So I'm super excited about that. I didn't want to do, that's why I love the regulation side. I love the vetting side. I just love the transparency side and us being able to build trust together, doing business together as a people and really practice group economics in real life. Now, misinformation can cloud our level of performance transparency.
This nigga ain't said nothing worth anything yet.
Information and clarity within us as members. We are business partners. So the purpose of the audit is to provide an objective, independent examination of the financial statements, right? So the cool part about it, when we say provide an objective, independent examination, our audit is not done by an internal person in our company. This is a third-party auditor, a CPA, with their professional reputation and license on the line. So this is, not someone internally that's doing as we wish. They examine the financial statements, which increases the value and credibility of the financial statements produced by management, thus increases user confidence in the financial statement and reduces investor risk. Essentially just saying we use a third-party person so you all can feel comfortable that it's not the internal organization doing something uncredible.
Yo, this nigga is the spin doctor.
Full transparency. Audit results. So this was in your SEC document. At the bottom of our audit, you will see what's called an audit opinion, right? In the audit opinion, our independent contractor says, and I'm quoting them from the SEC document, in our opinion, the consolidated financial statements referred to above present fairly. I want to say it again. In our opinion, the consolidated financial statements...
Nigga, get to the facts. You lost $1 million. Nigga, make that make sense.
In all material respects, the consolidated financial position of Tulsa Real Estate Fund, LLC, and subsidiaries as of December 1st, 2019 and 2018, and a result of its operation and cash flows for the years then ended in accordance with accounting principles generally accepted in the United States, which is called GAAP, right? Generally accepted accounting principles. So what it's saying is, if we had, in the auditor's opinion, cooked the books, or if we were doing something that rose a red flag with them, or that presented what's called a material concern, the third-party CPA and auditor would have had a responsibility, a fiduciary responsibility, to flag that and note any material concern within our organization. So for our partners, as we're again having transparency, continuing to build our trust, and those who believe in what we're doing and see the vision and sense the spirit of what we're doing, who know the spirit of what we're doing, and who know that in a...
Man, he beating all the leaves off that bush. Damn!
Independence and liberation, that there are going to be disruptions, misdirection, misinformation, smear campaigns, and attacks. So what this audit does, when you read it properly in context, and the rest of what we offer and open up to our partners, what it does is begin to build more credibility through transparency and more trust. But back to the auditor statements, that what we presented was presented fairly.
I guess he the only nigga that know how to read numbers in the entire world.
Let's start there. In our audit, we talk about our overall strategy is to purchase multifamily, single-family, commercial property, and raw land in mostly urban communities, and to rehab, develop, lease, or sell those properties for a profit. This may include property acquisition, development, and lending activities. To date, we have generated revenues in two ways: from quick turnaround assets and long-term investments. So later on, family, we're going to go over our portfolio, but what you're going to see is that we have stayed true to our investment strategy, where we are developing assets, such as what we developed here at the beautiful Black House, a legacy center, a Class A office.
$3,000 in rent. Talk about that.
5 minutes from the world's busiest airport, Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport. Sitting in a qualified opportunity zone, which allow all the businesses that are housed here and leased here to be able to leverage the opportunity zone legislation for capital investment, offering a co-working space, event space, training space, long-term rental space, production and media space, and empowerment center for the local community here in Atlanta Metro and East Point. There are several black-owned businesses, down to the black-owned vending machine, to the lawyer's office upstairs, to the CPAs, right, to the media professionals, to the event planners leased upstairs. The Legacy Center is how Black Wall Street was over 2,000 homes and businesses in Tulsa, Oklahoma, built from 1905 to 1921 when it was burned down. The Legacy Center in the Black House is a living epicenter for the model of Black Wall Street and the Black Wall Street spirit in housing businesses, empowering local homeowners, housing local businesses in our co-working space, our cafe, our training center.
I'm gonna need this nigga to get to what matters.
Development that we talked about in our model. We also said that we would acquire residential and multifamily properties. We bought the block in Macon, Georgia, 98 units, 2 blocks, 98 rental units. That we also will discuss a little more in detail later. Our Macon, Georgia property that we are all in with our partner for about $3.8 million. That property, we just spoke to one of those reputable commercial real estate brokers in the country, and they just gave a broker opinion value of it for $4.8 million, over $1 million of appreciation since we acquired it a little over a year ago from our value adds. That's today. Again, family property, buying back the blocks. We then talk about, we would do lending activities. We talked about the several million we loaned to black-owned businesses.
Talk about the foreclosure you had to do on the defaulted note.
The blanket mortgage in Ohio, the rehab and construction mortgage in New Orleans, the rehab and development mortgage to a black woman, that was in New Orleans, a black woman, another black woman in Lake Charles, Louisiana, who on a 14 unit, right? All these different lending activities and more. But this is what I'm saying, we're staying true to our investment model. People say, what are you guys doing?
Oh, y'all know I'm doing a follow-up live behind this shit.
Not to mention the up-and-coming opportunities that we'll talk about a little later as I want to kind of try to breeze through some of this. But we are active, very, very, very active in staying true to our investment strategy and our mission to build a Black Wall Street model in real life. And mind you, Black Wall Street was built from 1905 to 1921. This is the second year of our fund. Year two. And we're just getting started. A common question, the theme, how does the fund make money, right? How do we generate revenue with all that stuff I said that, right?
Here we go.
And that shows actual tangible assets, but how do we make money, Jay?
Here we go.
Rental income, right? Rental income we receive from our office space, from our multifamily asset, or any other assets that we may receive rental income from. Our multifamily asset, 98 units, has been being stabilized. If you're familiar with multifamily real estate, what stabilized means is re-tenanted. You're putting new tenants in. You're making value-add improvements.
Re-tenanted? Is tenanted a word?
Basically,
we ain't find that word.
The apartment complex, right? And then new tenants in for
tenanted
fair market rents. And maybe a better culture for that particular asset. By doing that, we have not received monthly cash flows. We've gotten rental income, about $241,000, not the fund, but the asset has. But that isn't breaking even covering our costs. So we have not made a monthly rental profit on that asset yet, but we have done value adds that's increased our equity by $1 million in a year, and we are considering flipping or selling that asset.
I need to see the certified appraiser opinion on that. I need an appraisal. I need an appraisal.
18%.
Get that appraisal.
Or $150,000 or better cash profit, depending what we sell at. And that's in us flipping an apartment complex, making an 18% internal rate of return, meaning year on year, right? So these are things that we are doing and thinking. So that's one way we make money. Interest income, AKA mortgage notes receivable, meaning for the loans that we give out, the borrowers pay us back monthly mortgages, interest only. So they're not even paying down the principal. We are acting as a private lender, being flexible but still responsible, but being flexible for minority and, at this point, all black developers. And we are giving them a chance to get funding that many of them don't have a chance to get in the primary markets. That's another way that we make money. Fees, points, right, on a loan. So when you lend capital, for those who aren't familiar, I have no problem educating. I love educating, as you know. But as a private lender and as a lender, and I've managed 2 mortgage companies in my lifetime, I've been a loan officer, I've closed buku deals in regards to lending. As a private lender or a loan officer for kind of a mortgage company, we're not a mortgage company, but as a private lender, you make money outside of your interest payments or mortgage payments, but by loan origination fees, processing fees, underwriting fees, what's called transactional fees for your loan. So we also, as a Tulsa Real Estate Fund, make money in that way. And we'll actually itemize some of that a little later. We also make money through cash out refinancing, what's called the disposition of assets, selling the assets, and you win.
Yo, this is so sad.
Such as the Macon, Georgia, right? So we bought it a year ago. We did our rehab, which is called value add in the multifamily world. We did our value add capital improvements, and now we appreciated the asset by $1 million in a year. In real life, facts. And also proceeds from the sale of property, obviously, right? So that's one way we make money. Same thing when we talk about the Legacy Center here. The goal of the Legacy Center, outside of offering office space and empowering and working our way to stabilization after COVID, think about it, guys. We are a business and an asset in a global pandemic too, but we have survived. and are in position. So that's something we didn't shut down, we didn't close down, we didn't let everybody go, we didn't shut the fund down. We're still here even through the global pandemic. But the Legacy Center is going to do the same thing that the Macon, Georgia property did. We developed this property, value adds, we improved it from the old office space it was. If you look around and see this beautiful black building and all of what it represents, and all the bells and whistles, right? And then all the tenants and the income that we get here from all of our leases and our business model here at the Legacy Center, from that revenue, we stabilize this and we increase what would be about a $3.5 million investment. We increase that investment, and we're going to scale down some of our back development because of the market and because of COVID and the climate change. So as developers, as a responsible fund manager, and as entrepreneurs, as the global economy shifts, or a global health crisis happens, and we know that in-person models aren't working as strong, we're not going to invest more capital for in-person models. We're going to scale down our investment into in-person models until we get a grip on what social distancing and what direction the world is going. So we're going to reduce some of our development costs of the back, but still have it as a practical studio space, practical all-purpose space, event space, all type of rental space, community impact, all that, right? So when we get that rental income, what it does is it stabilizes this building and it gives a value-add appreciation, just like the apartment complex. Rental income, net operating income.
Man, this is a sales speech. This is not a discussion on annual filing.
Net operating income you increase in the building by that market cap rate, you then increase the value and appreciate the value of the building. So our projected value-add increase is being in the Legacy Center at about $3.5 million and stabilizing it over the next 2 to 3 years to be a 5, 6, really 7.
Yo, can y'all tell me why his forehead glistening right now? Why his forehead glistening? He look nervous.
Stabilize this asset and go from a $3.5 million investment into the development and to appreciate it through value-add opportunities and through its revenue-generating opportunities to a $7 million and better asset, or as close as we can get. That is the goal, which means the capital and the cash that we increase it by, we can sell this building if we want and cash out. We would say, you know what, we don't want to sell, we want to keep it long-term, we can refinance it. Remember, we own this asset free and clear, no more. We can and probably will refinance this asset, pull much of the cash back out, and then put that cash back out into the market. We may pay a cash distribution to partners with it. We'll figure that out as we get there.
We may? You may pay cash distributions? You may?
I just wanted all to make sense and just for us to have this clear discussion. So let's talk about 2019 expenses, right? So, one second. Oh, excuse me. It's print front and back. Expenses are we next. Before expenses, we have 2019 financial highlights. So some of the highlights. We made a year-over-year increase of 394% of revenue, right? So we had a year-over-year revenue increase of 394%.
Where?
So remember, our first year, we launched June 18. We just raised capital and just started deploying.
That nigga lying.
We're not making money back that fast, right? We're not making capital back revenue that fast. So 2018 was a low revenue year. So from $449 to $176,000, $176,000 and $98,000 in 2019. So remember, this is an emerging market company. We started from scratch with our company. Like we launched from scratch and started a new business together. Now we are year 2. This report is reflective of 2019, which is really a year and a half into the business. This is not our current day status. So 2, TREF investors earned, right, $867,909 in accumulated preferred returns due in arrears as of December 31st, 2019. What that means is this. When our investors subscribe and we decide to partner together and we offer an 8% preferred return.
Which you haven't paid.
Although you don't receive that return right away, because we know real estate is a long-term investment. The average hold period on investment real estate is 3 to 5 years. So we know it's a long-term investment. So the 8% still accumulates or adds up every year, even with the years that it's not immediately paid or distributed. So in arrears, owed to our investors, you still are getting calculated on the future growth of our assets and fund. You still are being owed and have earned $867,909.
But you lost $1 million. You can't afford to pay it.
Make new plays as we raise value and we perform. This is the accumulation that was owed as of 2019 and earned as of 2019. We raised over $7.5 million in capital as of 2019, December 31st. Cumulative net cash used in investing activities equals $6 million. So out of a $7.5 million capital raise, our investment activities equal over $6 million. So we put that money to work in 2019. Right? Remember, we have to have reserves for the fund.
You lost $1 million. 1.1 to be clear.
Right? Not the misinformation, but the actual information. But we did put that money to work as of December 31st. Over $6 million of work out of a $7.5 million capital raise. Our cumulative, as of December 31st, 2019, we built asset under management stabilized value of over $12 million. So our projected asset.
Where are the appraisals and valuations to support these numbers?
2019, based on the projections of the assets we invested in, in the value of the assets we invested in. As of December 31st, 2019, we received over $35,000 in loan origination fees. So again, we said we make money through loan origination fees. That was one way that we did it, through loans.
In 1 year? Nigga, a junior loan officer can do that by himself.
Also in that year, we received $150,000 of mortgage interest. Again, another way we make money, lending activities in our investment strategy. Also, through the end of the year, December 31st, 2019, after acquisitions and loans accounted for, the fund still maintained cash and cash equivalents of $615,000. To date, that number is over $3 million. So we were not over-investing. We were making sure, remember, fund management is not like running a regular mom-and-pop real estate company. We're going to talk about managing an SEC qualified fund, and when you talk about managing 15,000 investment partners from 22 countries, when you talk about managing over $10 million of capital, it is a different monster to do so and make sure you have the proper bookkeeping, auditing, financial controls, compliance, legal, portfolio management, asset allocation, technology, right? And all, cybersecurity, and all what goes into protecting all 15,000 plus investors, our capital, our assets, staff members, and all that we're going to get to. But again, we put over $6 million to work and still kept enough reserves for investment and staff operations of $615,000. As of December 21st, 2019, the fund held approximately $5 million in real estate and collateralized assets with no mortgage and debt. Meaning, as of the end of 2019, we had over $5 million in real assets that we owned with no debt or no mortgage in them. So should COVID had destroyed us in the market, we wouldn't have been owing banks and been facing foreclosure had COVID or some pandemic destroyed us and the financial markets changed or rental markets changed. We still had assets free and clear that we could liquidate.
Any savvy real estate investor knows that you don't tie up all of your free cash flow into a long-term asset that's tangible, that is hard to liquidate in a market. You borrow and pay interest. You leverage.
But so much interest. Even having millions in the bank, even in an overnight sweep account or treasury account, you're still only earning like 2% in a good market. So to put the money out at higher than 2% is my goal, to put it out responsibly as much as possible, as fast as possible, so we are earning as much yield as much as possible. So that yield, that return, can chip away at the 8% preferred return, the operational cost, and everything we got, so we all win together.
With the amount of assets he has under management, he could have gotten 3.5, 3% interest rates. Easily. There's no concept of institutional lending.
I believe in supporting the black woman, protecting the black woman. These are part of my personal values. I think these are part of our cultural values. I think it's part of the values of Black Wall Street, the black values of Marcus Garvey and the UNIA, the values of the things and people that inspired this fund and inspired me. As of December 31st, 2019, the fund had, again, bought back the block, 2 city blocks in Macon, Georgia, 98 rental units that we co-manage and develop. Since our grand opening, the Legacy Center has venued several community programs, food drives, Black History Expos, career fairs, and more. Here at the Legacy Center, we are...
Where is the revenue? Where is the cash flow?
Helping to incubate them and accelerate them. We're housing businesses. We're empowering the community. We're doing food drives. We are doing the work of not just flipping houses to broken people, but helping to redevelop the people in the same area we are developing the real estate. That's one of my personal missions. I've been saying it since 2015, walking the streets of Baltimore. 2019 challenges. As an emerging fund, right, we are an emerging fund with no age and stabilized assets to produce rental income or to provide equity appreciation. So going into 2019, we were only 6 months old. We launched in June 1st. And so we launched with no assets, right? We literally started the company from scratch together. We raised capital, and we said, hey, let's go do this. Let's go live out our dream of group economics. And so as of 2019, we entered the year as an emerging market company with, limited assets. I mean, that's just the fact of the matter. You start a new business with nothing unless you started with something you brought in. So that was a challenge for us to start from zero and then build this up. But we are here. Security and Exchange Commission and Department of Justice investigation and subpoena into the fund, Tulsa Real Estate Fund and Fund Management and Partners. So this was a challenge for us. January of 2019, many of you know, we got a subpoena from the FBI, the DOJ, Department of Justice. No allegations, no accusations. They just asked for a subpoena of tens of thousands of emails, bank records.
Because they know your ass is full of shit.
Pay stubs, text messages, all that. So it had, 1, it was very expensive. 2, it was very distracting. And 3, the next week, the SEC also subpoenaed us. So we had a dual federal investigation starting just 6 months in as a company with no allegations of wrongdoing, but just a subpoena that cost us money, it cost us focus, it cost us time, and our staff had to give up their laptops for hours out of the day, their cell phones, people were, our families. I mean, it's nerve-wracking. Even knowing you didn't do anything wrong, it still is, as a black-owned organization or any organization, to be subpoenaed, and in a dual subpoena, just 6 months in on business, and our attorneys said they believed it was because of all the online smear campaigns and antics. This is what our attorneys said. They said the reason why we believe they came after you is because of all the smear campaigns and the online antics that everybody's saying that the fund was a fraud back in 2018 when we first launched. That fraud Ponzi scheme scam was thrown around from our inception before we had the term to operate. Even after and through this investigation, which was concluded by the DOJ, FBI, they concluded the investigation after the subpoena and said we concluded and we have no further investigation at this time. The SEC in May of 2020 concluded their investigation after 18 months. The Security and Exchange Commission, the DOJ and FBI, they deal with criminal. The SEC deals with civil, right? Civil mismanagement or mistakes or misrepresentation or infractions, I should say. They said, we concluded our investigation at this time with no findings, and there will be no enforcement. We recommend no enforcement action against.
That's correct. TREF investors are not allowed to talk, ask questions, make comments, nothing. This is a pre-recorded statement.
The same disruptors have found a way to still say it's what they said it was in January 2018. But we won't give that much energy. But I want to say, for our company, it was definitely a challenge. And although we fought through it, it was a distraction. We want to just do the work and love our people and build this fund and make some profits and make us proud and build a legacy. But they keep trying to put barriers and distractions in our way and to cloud and divide us by creating planting seeds of doubt into the fund. And then disrupting what we all came in and said we wanted.
Yo, this remind me of that song. Don't listen to what people say. They don't know about you and me.
I got the numbers later in the report, but we're talking about over $250,000 of legal fees that we had to put out because of our same people wanting to create this atmosphere of disruption and destruction. For the year ending in 31/2019, we had a net loss of $1 million. So operating the company through the whole year, we had to take, and investing in all these assets, right? We put capital out, but it's not returning itself immediately. It's not a fix and flip fund.
He ain't laid out no real numbers yet.
On some fix and flip opportunities, but it's not a fix and flip fund. This is a real estate and community development fund. I want everyone to, and I want all you to be equipped with that information. When people say, hey, why not? I could have made this back in 30 days, and what about this, and what about that? We are not a mom and pop real estate shop. We are a Regulation A, Tier 2, real estate crowdfunding, real estate community development fund. For the people, by the people. To practice group economics, to be able to empower us in a host of ways. Through development, through lending, through direct acquisition, through community empowerment. This is the model and mission of our fund. So we got through some of those challenges. So let's talk about the expenses. If I'm correct. I think this is right. Okay. All right. And thank you guys for your patience. Just take notes. Like really write notes for yourself. Write timelines on this. Like I want us to be prepared and equipped. I want to build up and can continue and maintain our confidence and our trust and offer this level of transparency. I'm so happy to, on behalf of my wife, our partners, our investors, everyone. Like this is our legacy here. Like this means something to us.
Oh my God.
2019 expenses. There is a misrepresentation of this line in your SEC document. So I want to equip everyone with this information. What it reads is, marketing, general, and administrative expenses were $766,000 for the year ending December 31st.
On only $10 million in assets.
Stop. I need you all to read, digest, and comprehend with me. I'm going to break this down for you. Everyone's saying, what? You spent $700,000 on marketing? Family, let's read together. Marketing, general, and administrative expenses were $766,000 as of December 31st, 2019. Let me break that down for you. Our largest single expense and line item was legal fees of $260,864. I want you to write this down. Out of $766,000 of operational expenses,
still over $500,000 unaccounted for.
Was $260,864.58.
Mind you, he's only got 2 full-time employees.
From the SEC and DOJ investigation and compliance. We got to keep compliance. The next expense is outsource services. So I know there was a misrepresentation or misread where folks think there's only 2 people operating the organization because we, as of 2019, had 2 full-time employees. But you have to understand, in that same line, we talked about there being other vendors and contractors that supplement our workforce. So our other outsourced services expense, everybody write this down. These are video notes. Edit the clip, post it on YouTube, post it on Instagram. These are the facts. Our outsourced services were $339,230.
Oh, shit.
$37.93. That went to chief compliance, real estate analysts, real estate portfolio managers, our treasurers, our underwriters, etc., and our employees. This fund is comprised of bookkeepers, auditors, treasurers, third-party administrators, investor relations specialists, investor relations managers, compliance officers, business administrators, portfolio managers, underwriters, all that. These people, not things. These are the contractors, the vendors or employees, which comprise of $339,000 of expense that are here and in the fund, right? So, marketing, which we'll get to a little later, I think some notes on that. The marketing in our fund for the entire year of 2019 was not more, actually for 2019 and 2018, was not more than, much more than $55,000 total in marketing. And we'll get to that line item in a second in our joint marketing agreement, which is misrepresented. Again, I want to tell you, marketing expense for our company, we saved money leveraging our sister company, the J. Morrison Academy. We actually saved money in our fund. I'll talk about that in a little bit. We raised millions of dollars of capital on a limited marketing budget because this fund is attached to a conglomerate. And I want to do what's best and most fair for the fund. Like, you need the fund to win. People tell me, Jay, we need the fund to win. The fund loses and set this back for 150 years. I know. Like, you need the fund to win. I need the fund to win. We need the fund to win. And my legacy rides on the fund winning. If the fund doesn't win, although I might do other things in life and God might bless me and whatever challenges, I can't guarantee anything. I won't and can't legally guarantee anything. But if the fund doesn't win, I know it could be one of the biggest stains on my last name and on my legacy in a lifetime. I'm quite aware. So don't we all think that mission-driven, purpose-driven, Jay Morrison, who's been following his calling, being obedient to the Most High since 2012, I can't say my whole life, but since 2012, who believes in legacy over lifestyle, being a CEO of your last name, and is proud of his wife, Ernestine Morrison, and a newborn baby Morrison, I can't give you the name right now, and my oldest daughter, who's 21 years old, going to senior year of college, and my younger daughter, who's 12 years old. God, we got to be practical and think that as a mature, grown man, a man who loves our community, and loves my reputation and my legacy, that I'm giving my best to make sure the fund wins. Not to milk the fund, to bleed the fund, to hurt the fund, to mismanage the fund, but to ensure that we win to the best of my...
This y'all savior? This y'all savior right here?
My legacy and our legacies, which are tied together in this partnership. So, also, management fees. Management fees incurred were $413,752,000 for the year ending December 31st, 2019. Stop. Management fees did not say J. Morrison fees. First and foremost, $413,000 in 2019 goes to the management group. The management team is comprised of 4 partners. There's 4 partners that did not receive any salary. I do not take a salary from the Tulsa Real Estate Fund. For all my efforts, for my energy, for my reputational risk. At this point, for my freedom risk. And at this point, for my life risk. Multiple documented death threats to my family running this fund. And if anybody wants to see them, we can post them. Despicable death threats. Death threats on my unborn daughter. Death threats to my wife on my unborn daughter.
God, he is playing the emotional card so hard.
The team receives that 4 partners are a part of, not Jay Morrison. I don't even take a salary from the company family. Let's put it in perspective. So, when people fire back and say, Jay took, I didn't take anything. I and my partners earned. And from 2016 and 2017, growing this company and building up to launch this company, we took no salaries nor any management fee. The first 2 years of organizing this business, no compensation from the company. Okay? Let's talk about mortgage notes receivables real quick. During the year December 31st, 2019, this is the 2019 audit, we invested $1.8 million into mortgage notes receivables, right, into loans, and received no principal repayments that year. These are interest-only loans. We were not giving principal loans. So that means we earned interest on the full value of the loan. If a borrower pays down the principal, that means they're paying less on the interest, therefore we're making less money as a company. So on these interest-only loans, in our $1.8 million of mortgage note receivables, we anticipate and projected a profit on a mortgage of $550,400 for a total return of principal and interest of $2.3 million, meaning we invested over $1.8 million into loans. Our projections to receive over $550,000 in profits from those loans or revenue from those loans for a total of our money back and the loans of $2,366,468. All right?
He can't even read his own annual report.
Those loans include many of
He doesn't even know how to talk about ROI.
I'll break down briefly. I'm going to go thorough. I'm going to read through the whole thing. I hope you got time. Like, everybody want to know, let's go through it. I'm not skipping nothing. There's a lot of information, though. February 28, 2019, in connection with the sale of the Knapp Street property. So, on our Knapp Street property, we started receiving mortgage interest on that. April 24th, 2019, we entered into a note in the principal amount of $206,000 related to a loan for a single-family fix and flip, refinance and rehabilitation in a gentrified area of Nashville. So a developer came in. He was actually one of my students through the J. Morrison Academy, who I know had a track record of fix and flips, and he got the same treatment as everyone else in regards to underwriting, and we loaned him capital, his development company, black-owned development company, black-owned business. We loaned him $206,000 for a fix and flip in a gentrified area of Nashville. We have received loan interest and mortgage interest from these type of assets. Also, $364,000 on April 26th on a fix and flip to a black-owned development company in Buckhead, Georgia. That property we loaned $364,000 to, appraised for $545,000. On April 29th, 2019, we entered into a note in the principal amount of $314,772 related to a loan for the rehabilitation of 3 single-family homes in a gentrified area of Cincinnati. We gave a refinance loan, what's called a blanket mortgage, on a 3-property bundle deal to another black-owned developer, black-owned business in a gentrified area of Cincinnati. So people say, what happened to buying back the blocks? We are funding the developers who are buying back the blocks. We are being the community development company that what I call the rich uncle, the capital partner. Don People says capital, the access to capital is a fuel to real estate and entrepreneurship. We are offering that capital because of what we pulled together. All right. And many of these opportunities also come with extension fees. So if they want to continue their loan, these are usually short-term loans, about 12 months. If they want to continue for another 6 to 12 months, they have to pay a fee, in which we receive income that way as well. On May 30th, 2019, we entered into a balloon note in the principal amount of $438,000 related to the acquisition and rehab of 3 distressed buildings on 1 lot in the 7th Ward near the famous French Quarter in New Orleans. Again, development capital to a black woman-owned development company, over $438,000 that we loaned for development. They did a beautiful job on the rehab. They're finishing that up. They're trying to disposition it or refinance it now, but we loaned again $438,000 in the 7th Ward of New Orleans to a black woman development business. This is what we've done. These are the facts of what have we done. And this is as of 2019. And July 15th, 2019, I brought an opportunity to the fund. We enter into an interest-only note in the principal amount of $548,000 related to a loan for the refinance of 2 student housing properties totaling 28 units located at Spelman College and Morehouse College in Atlanta. Again, in an area that's being gentrified, in an area where there's historically black colleges. I had an asset in my portfolio of 28 rental units, 2 student housing units that was in the AUC that we were refinancing and looking at other companies. And here's what I said, being astute. If I'm going to another lender as a manager of these assets, and I also manage the fund, in our fund agreements, we wrote that the manager may also, I'm paraphrasing, also do business with or work through other properties or other vendors or other associates, knowing that I own other companies and other businesses. We're leveraging that to our benefit. This is the whole thing. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I have been for several years. I have a lot of resources. I leverage them for the benefit of the fund. This is being misrepresented in some states as being manipulating, mismanaging, or, for lack of better terms, layman terms, milking the fund or taking advantage of. I'm going to tell you why the Parsons Street's investments on these 228 units. It's because I could have went and I was going to, and got rates from another lender to refinance the property at 8%. And I
8%? You got $10 million in assets. Are you telling me the best you can do is 8%?
Because I would say scared, if you will. I was nervous in my head about it because of the lack of trust that we have for each other in doing business. And so I was going to actually give somebody else, another institution, my interest payments, even though I have an manage an institution and a partner in an institution that does the same thing. So I thought about it and said, if call John Wang, anybody, right? Somebody else. And I'm really talking about...
Yo, what the hell is he talking about?
Because I'm talking about some of the rooted mistrust in our community for many of my black investors and partners. I know all you all are of African descent, and I have respect for everyone. But what I was thinking about is other communities. You could say any nationality. And if the manager of the fund had the same investment strategy, right, to do lending activity, and they gave that investment opportunity to another fund out of fear of backlash or out of the fear of misunderstanding, they would be giving away the opportunity cost of that money to their own fund.
Yo, y'all need to go get y'all king, bro. Go get y'all king. Oh my God.
And being of the Black Wall Street mind, the Black independence mind, it did not make sense.
Get that nigga a glass of water. He looked thirsty.
But it did not make sense to keep $548,000 in a bank, right, getting 2% interest, where there was an opportunity, mind you, these 28 units appraised for over $900,000. The loan was $548,000. It was under a 50% loan to value. So this wasn't some like super high risk or value deal from an LTV perspective or ARV perspective. I think it was $905,000 after repair value, stabilized value. And so we made an informed decision, and an astute decision in my opinion. Instead of getting 2% on $48,000 at 1.9%, we are paying the fund 8% on the same capital in a historically black college community at less than a 50% loan to value, and still pay the fund origination fees as well, and there's still extension fees if we continue our loan like everyone else as well. So that is the, again, details and transparency that I have to kind of over-explain or explain, and that's fine, of an asset in which I already had under management that the fund refinanced at a fair and reasonable rate.
He is not live. This is a pre-recorded conversation.
All right. So, what else we got? On June 3rd, 2019, JM Rep entered into an amended and restated operating agreement with Alchemy LLC relating to the formation and management of Treadway LLC. That's our 98-unit property. Pursuant to the operating agreement, JM Rep, this is JM Rep 28. That is a subsidiary company 100% owned by the Tulsa Real Estate Fund, right? So Tulsa Real Estate Fund, through the subsidiary, JM Rep 28. Now JM Rep 28, again, saving the fund money. I just want to tell you guys, I'm bearing my heart out. It's transparency. We could have formed a whole new LLC for this opportunity.
They're not usually pre-recorded. These are usually live investor calls with Wall Street analysts on the phone and everything. People get to ask questions and all of that.
That was dormant, that I already paid for out of my own or our other company pockets. And we donated that LLC, JM Rep 28, at no cost to the fund, for the fund to use and have 100% ownership of. I know it's only $300 or $400 for the LLC, but I'm always trying to do what I can to cut our cost so we can have higher revenue and more success. So wherever my other companies or other companies in my management or vendors or resources or relationships, wherever I can leverage them for our betterment, I try. And so that was one example, but the fund 100% owns that company, and that company is the 40% owner in the Treadway 98-unit property that we all own together, that we just got appraised today. It's not appraised, but a broker opinion of $1 million over what we paid for it so far and what we're in it for. So, a note on the Treadway properties, not only do we own 40%, but we get 60% of the profits. This is the deal that we negotiated. These are all the details you just don't know and hear and all that. So we negotiated 40% ownership, but we got to get 60% of the profits until we receive our full $550,000 investment back. And then the profits flip to us getting 40% after we make our full investment back. So that was another...
Okay, give me a second, guys, because this is pre-recorded and I've almost hit the hour anyway. I'm going to pause this, I'm going to close it, and then I'm going to come back in. Let me save this video, and then I'm coming right back. All right, y'all? Give me just a second.